Oh, alright. So last time we discovered a new spell. We created a gold-backed mirror, I think. And then we went inside this ziggurat. After we... Yeah, we did the tomb thing. Then we left the graveyard, we followed the road. And we went in. You step into the temple. The hollow space amplifies your footsteps, and they echo eerily for several moments. On the floor, in gilt inlay, is written the name of the god who inhabits this space. It seems that this is the ziggurat of Kurga, the Gracious. Wait and listen. You wait for a few heartbeats to see if you have disturbed anything. Nothing happens, and then you catch the tail of a gigantic snake slithering across the floor and disappearing into a crack in one wall. From the markings along its back, it looks highly poisonous. I feel like I can drink my snake antidote later, right? I don't feel like I need to drink it now. What if it's a friendly snake? Even if it's poisonous. What if it's only poisonous to things that try to kill it? You know? Oh. It's fine. I'm fine with this. You enter the temple, but the snake still manages to catch you by surprise, launching itself from a crack in the ceiling behind you. He defended. Oh no. The temple snake snaps and hisses at the air between you. You slash out at it, hoping to sever its head as it slithers away around a pillar out of reach. It lifts up, baring its mighty fangs, dripping with poison. Whoa! Alright, well, we're gonna retry that. Let's go! The temple snake snaps and hisses at the air between you. You keep your guard high, stabbing out at the slivers away around a pillar out of reach. It lifts up, bearing its mighty fangs, dripping with poison. The temple snake is retreating but you give chase. You cleave the air with your sword. With a weird scream that echoes round the cold stone, the snake dies, its head crashing to the floor. No stamina lost fight. You wipe your sword clean and wait for the violent echoes of the fight to fade away. Then you go further in. The sight of the shrine takes your breath away. The walls are decorated with brightly colored murals depicting scenes from the religious mythology of Korea. Fine ornaments and precious metals are set in the alcoves around the pews, and rich, woven tapestries cover every surface. A cunning trick of architecture catches the wind past the doorway. It creates a constant ethereal humming, as though a crowd of monks sat in permanent meditation inside. But I'm not gonna leave. At the far end of the hallway, 4 large stone gargoyles of winged demons watch over the shrine from mounts high up in the caves, guarding the altar, on which a gigantic idol squats, Kurga himself. Approach the altar. You walk up towards the altar, across a richly patterned carpet. Something about it gives you pause. Its surface is decorated with wide symbols that seem too deliberate to be accidental. Then zap, fall. Yeah, float. Zap. I assume that this other one is sus. Sun. Yeah, sure. You casted the spell across your sun jewel, which begins to fill with a blinding light that makes the great statue of Courier gleam and shine even brighter. But it doesn't help you decide how to approach the idol any better. Oh, okay. This is the game that Sus is from. This is the origin of Sus. I will accept no arguments. Okay, avoid the circles. Remembering Flanker's advice, you walk up to the altar, stepping carefully around the circle in the carpet, and reach the altar steps without incident. Alright, I believe that I have just done that correctly, but I want to know, like, what happens if you don't. Nonsense and superstition you started because they're going along. That's what I have here. Okay, you end up in the same spot. Interesting. Alright, cast a spell. Find boom sound. Sun. Avoid the circles, because they're teleports. You stand before the idol, a fat statue set with gems and curious pock-marked features. Above his head is a plaque that bears an inscription. Read it. It reads, on Korga's face, you kiss a cross, and finish with the lips. For answers to your questions, you must not else he spits. You step nervously up the steps until you are below the great statue. Kiss the idol. You stand on tiptoes and lean in, preparing to kiss the statue, but where? Does the humming in the temple seem to be getting louder? In a cross. So, the forehead. I guess the nose, the lips, the left eye, the nose, the right eye? First you place a kiss on the idol's forehead. Next you kiss the nose. You hear something flittering in the upper levels of the temple. You lean low and kiss the idol's lips, and as you do, you hear a small click. Wait. Oh, I am dead. There's a sharp stabbing pain at the back of your throat. You try to call out, but it seems the poison on the tip of the dart, which has just been shot from the golden mouth into your own, is too fast acting. I'm dead. What the hell? And finish with the lips. You idiot. Idol's forehead. The nose. Left eye. Right eye. Lips. What? Maybe Maybe I have to... Okay, I start on the left, I think. So you go left eye. Right eye. Forehead. Nose. Lips. What the hell? Well, I know that's how Christianity does it. I understand what you're referencing. You're referencing crossing yourself in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah, but that's a Catholic thing, right? All right, let's try it the Catholic way then, I guess. So forehead, right eye, I think I already fucked it up. No! Alright, forehead? No, it's okay, because we end with the lips. I feel like we should start going on our horizontals. So let's start from right to left. Right eye, I am so mad. Yeah. Alright, let's go right eye, left eye, forehead, nose, lips. There was a sharp stabbing pain. Well, what the hell? Maybe the nose isn't necessary at all. I guess because when you cross yourself, you only do 4. Ah, fuck. God damn it! First you place a kiss on the idol's left eye, next you kiss the right eye. You hear something flittering in the upper levels of the temple. You lean over and kiss the idol on his forehead. Finally, you lean low and kiss the idol's lips. As you straighten once more, you see the idol's eyes flick open. A soft voice issues from its mouth. Stranger, you are not of my faith, whispers the god, and yet you have completed my ritual. How can that be? I have used my wits. The god laughs softly. My brother Pashna is the god of thieves and tricksters, but you are in my temple today. I will answer 3 questions if you have questions to ask. You take a moment to think over everything you have learned and not learned about the North Gate spell, but you have only learned very few lines of the spell. Tell me the spell for the gate. Yeah, I used too many steps. Mine also makes a cross, it just has a middle point. Oh, but maybe... Yeah, I mean, look, it's got like a little point right here. It's still a cross. Tell me the spell for the gate, you command, hoping for the god's aid. I cannot tell you the spell, Kurgan replies after a long and mysterious pause. Only the nobles know. Volus, Shinva, Theta, and Lorag. The last of these is a follow of Korga, and his line is tumblers 2 sealed deep inside. Find the others and the spell will be yours. I only get 2 more questions. Although I would probably argue with him that he didn't answer my question and that I should be given that one back. Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. I should really just ask about these two. But I'm so curious about the information that I get from this. Below my fate hold in the backlands. You put your ear close to the other's mouth to hear the god speak its answer. Stranger says there will be no fate for you in the backlands. You do not know the 4 spell lines without these you cannot pass through. Or, the god falls mysterious. No, I see a path. Go forward. But know too that you will go back. The god awaits your final question. What the fuck? I just wanted to know. I am rewinding and it won't count. Left eye, right eye, forehead, living la vida loca. Alright, tell me the spell for the gate. I already have a Shinva. That's why it isn't listed down here, I guess. And I think I already have Lorags. Oh, fuck. One moment. While we're doing this, I need to go to my creator dashboard. And I need to go to settings. Stream. Automatically publish VODs. And then I need to go to video producer. And I need to publish this VOD. And I need to publish this VOD. Okay. Oh yeah, so I believe that I already have... Yes, I already have Lorags and I already have Shinvas. So I'm only missing 3, and he's given me another one. So I'm gonna ask about Theta, and I think I'm gonna ask about the North Gate. Because as long as I can get to Theta, Theta knows the whole spell, I believe. Oh, Sansa. Wait. Okay, never mind. I will be asking about both of them. I'm glad that we did a little research. How can I find Lord Theta, you ask, bowing as you speak. The god murmurs to himself, Lord Theta is now blind and begging in a ruined part of the city, but know this, he does not want to be found. The god waits for your final question. How can I find Lord Molas? How can I find you ask the god in a reverential tone. The second noble has been dead for a long time, Koga replies softly. Although he does not stay dead, he moves around the lower part of the city, a half-decayed, half-animated corpse. A great silence descends across the room, and the god speaks once more. Now, he intones, I have a question for you. You have completed my ritual. Do you wish to enter my worship? What sort of god are you? Korga seems to almost smile. I am the god of grace, he replies. There are few as generous as I. I don't think that's true. What are we thinking? What do other people think? I have my playthrough through Karay has been a little bit scattered, so I'm not confident on Korga. I can't remember enough. I also started up the dishwasher. Do I already have a religion? I don't believe so. It's less a religion and more that there are gods that like you can pray to, but I don't really know how religious it is, right? Next playthrough. Is there a desire for a second playthrough? Alright, sure. Yo, he healed me! Very good. Oh, I wish it. Very good, Korga intones. There is a moment of quiet humming that rolls around the temple until it becomes almost too much to bear. Then a moment later, you feel the god's presence inside you. My aid comes with no price, but there is a condition. You must act graciously enough to receive it. We have just made a terrible mistake. We should undo that. Evil is in the eye of the beholder! No! What the hell? He healed me even though I said no? What? I changed my mind again! Korga's base! No, you shake your head. So be it, Korga answers. There is a brief murmuring as Korga blesses you, gracious even in rejection, and then the temple falls quiet once more. You turn and head out the temple door. You have found one new clue and other clues have been updated. That is not rewind abuse. Chill. You return to the opening in the temple. Climb back down. The climb back down is easier. Halfway down, you pause to rest. Look at the view. You look out to the north. Those thick trees are still lit by torchlight, and you hear the distant baying of wolves. Wait longer. Half an hour passes, nothing changes, except the sky grows colder and the wind picks up, cutting through your cloak. Wait longer. You settle down to wait on one of the stone steps, watching as a line of torches fans out through the trees and marches slowly forwards. As some disappear, new ones are lit, but eventually, after the sun is finally gone and the stars come up above you, the trees around the north gate are rinky and blank, and there is no light except for the single flame on the gate itself. The way through the forest should now be clear. Eat something. At least away from the rats and night foxes that live on the ground, you are free to eat. You take out a quantity of your cheese and bread and eat it quickly, feeling better for both the nourishment and the rest. I don't remember the last time I've eaten, that's why I've eaten here. You should eat about like once every 2 days, I believe, is the rule. Two? I think so. I don't think you have to eat every day. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert in sorcery. Hey, maybe I should have gone? I assume that those torches were the goblins, right? No, they're all consistent on the eating rules, I believe. But one I think is a little bit more lenient because you're coming from Analand, right, where you eat before like you leave, right, and you have like a really good meal or something. You really don't need to eat every day, but you're missing out on vital stamina gains. Oh yeah, you can like raise like your max stamina or something if you eat more regularly. I'm not sure. All right. Anyway, we have one option ahead. It's like, okay, I've been given their locations, but I can't go get. I'm not allowed. I'm never back. Always forward. What was the point of me asking? You walk between clawing trees and thick bushes. The north gate is finally in sight. You can see its imposing, ornately carved wooden doors over the top of the guard huts and low buildings that lie at the end of this road. Look at the guard huts. You pause to watch the guard huts. They seem quite still. One has a hole in its roof. Weeds grow through the chimney of another. Are they abandoned? But between here and there is a long road lined by thick and gloomy trees, a patch of wild forest like you haven't seen since the hills. Go cautiously. You make your way slowly forward, trying to ensure your feet do not crunch too loudly on the gravel. Something is keeping pace with you just behind the tree line, stalking you. Stop and look. You stop and turn to look into the trees. There is the faintest flicker of a gleam, and that is all the warning you get. A wild bristle beast leaps out from the trees and knocks you down. You scramble for your sword. The bristle beast bares its teeth and the spines on its back spike up. You stab for its throat. The beast lashes out with its claws, but it can't defend itself from the force. Whoa! You're fucking done, mister. You batter at the bristle beast, cutting it down as it swings its head, only to catch your blade more deeply. The beast dribbles and cries in a pitiful wail. You best the bristle beast again, charging forward across the dirt, sword biting for blood. With a final swing, you bury your blade deep into the bristle beast. It twists on the metal, then curls up like an overheated beetle and dies. The stamina lost while I was fighting. I actually lost one stamina before the fight, but we'll take it. The legendary sword. I don't even actually know what it does. You have reached the north gate. The ground before it is wide and clear, and lit by blazing torches set into brackets either side of the enormous doors, or the enormous sealed doors. There should there be archers hiding in the shadows, they would have a clear sight on you. Off to on one side is a well, but there is no other cover. You don't know all the spell lines, of course, but perhaps the gate will open to a dock spell after all? What about the well? Can I go drink from the well? Wait and watch. You wait in the shadows and watch as the guards are patrolling. You should be able to learn their patterns, but strangely, there seem to be no guards here at all. Perhaps because the gate is locked, no one bothers to guard it anymore? I don't think so. Alright, I have to know because Hal has to be here, right? Hal is just gonna be like, fucking leave. Sus. DOP is not going to work. We've already been told that DOP will not work. And I'm willing to believe the countless people told us, like at the start, that DOP is not going to work. I would like to do Hal, but I want to rewind. I'm mostly just curious, like, how funny it's gonna be. Because it's just gonna be like, leave, I think. You cast a spell and a calm voice enters your mind, telling you there is only one way out of the clearing, through the great double doors. However, you cannot help noticing the spell leaves you with one other impression. That although this clearing has one way out, there are two ways in. There is nothing else for it, throwing caution the land you step out of the shadows and approach the gate. Yeah. Wait and watch. Right over to the gate. Throwing caution to the wind, you step out of the shadows and approach the gate. Time to see if you have learned enough on your travels through the city to unlock the gate. Maybe I should have kept the how. Maybe that'll give my character knowledge that I need. You reach to the side of the clearing unscathed and stand below the enormous doors. Force open the doors. You haul at the door. The gate is uneven rattle. You hear a scrabbling noise in the distance. Recite the spell. You knock firmly on the door. Where there is no response, you go, I am here to open this gate. There is no spell. You begin to wonder if they've been tricked, if there is no gate here at all. And this is simply an illusion. You are not alone. Did I just get a Steam message? No. Thought I heard a noise. Also, I am thirsty as hell. Why are you eyes on it? A stranger. No! Whew. Let's go! No spill. Alright. There was no response. You begin to wonder if you've been tricked. Halt, stranger, it booms. Do you know the spell which controls the gate? I do not. You reply, honestly. The voice begins to laugh. Then the gate denies you, replies the voice from across the clearing, scarfling noise of metal moving over stone. Look around, but see nothing. Look at the shadows by the wall. Look at the well. Look along the track. The track? The track? The track? I'm looking at the well. I'm chewing. You look over at the well and catch a flash of moonlight on a metal blade. It is the hooked claw of a grappling hook, attached to the edge of the well shaft. As you watch, a face emerges. It bears the leering, hook-toothed smile of a goblin. The creature is climbing a rope with a grappling hook attached, which is hooked over the lip of the well. I take the grappling hook. I buy the grappling hook from the goblin. There is no way you can fight 100 goblins. Says you. Oh, come on. Finish chewing. Alright. You turn to run, aiming to find somewhere you can hide and watch what unfolds, but then you realize you are running for your life, as goblin after goblin chambers from the well and begins to race across the clearing towards you. There is no way you can fight 100 goblins, so you dash aside into the shadows. Okay, although I do... Oh, but that's all one node. I was gonna rewind. It's like, if you fight, like, does it just kill you? Like, do you just die? The goblins pour up to the gate, and they're going to try to ram it, and then they stop. And in their midst, a small figure is being propelled forward. You cannot clearly see him, but he is wearing a dull metal circlet on his brow, which he clutches as though it was keeping him safe. Their king, perhaps, but since when have goblins had a king? He is surrounded by a guard of nearly 20 goblins, as though he was indeed precious. Let me think. For those who missed last time, or really 2 times ago, we have already like a little bit played out some of this. We ended up rewinding because it was less interesting, but we learned about this situation. Sorry. Uh, and we also learned that this man has a like circlet that kind of lets him. That's similar to the crown that we seek in the games, and it kind of lets him like control the goblins. And that he will be invading the city of Corray. I don't know why he goes to the gate. I'm pretty sure he's invading Corray, right, Nameless? The Goblin King. This guy or another? This guy. Alright, hang back. You hang back, watching as a figure nears the gate, leaning down to the lock. He whispers something, but you cannot hear what he says. A moment later, the gate begins to move. It is opening. Stay back. You hang back, looking through. You make out figures in the darkness beyond the gate. Marsh goblins, thousands of them, screaming and armed for war. They begin to race forward, pouring through the gate, filling the clearing and meeting their hill cousins in a loud and violent celebration. The man with the circlet at the gate cries with glee. A new day for Corray begins, he cries, clamoring on to... Okay, yes, he is going to invade. He cries, clambering onto the shoulders of a nearby goblin as though about to make a speech. Quite suddenly, goblins that are carrying him let go. He cries out as he falls to the ground. The sword goes up. Uh-oh. There is a scream. They have murdered their own king. What is going on here? The circle from his head rolls to your feet. The goblins, clashing the sword on shield, look towards the city with violent eyes. I don't feel like I'm gonna be allowed to take the circle. Take the circlet. From the way the king was clutching the circlet, you have thought it was a thing of power, perhaps akin to the crown of kings itself. But it is nothing. Cheap hammered iron. It still bears the groove from when it was once a goblin sword. You toss it into the dust. They used him! The goblins owned him! Hide in the shadows. More and more goblins are surging in through the gate, and they are starting to organize. One, a leader of some kind, is hoisted up by others so he can address the crowd. Corray falls, he screams in his guttural voice, and every creature dies! Perhaps when the rampage has begun, you'll be able to slip out through the gate and continue your mission, as long as you're willing to let Corray burn. Hot and Zap have to be available, right? Of course Hot is there. Raid a shield. Nameless, it can't be! Ain't no way! Could the solution to all of our problems be the solution to every single fucking problem? You cast the spell and begin to play the pipe. Nearby goblins are arrested by the sound, and against their will, they begin to dance around each other, waving their arms and swords in the air. Unfortunately, the spell does not capture the whole army. The other goblins turn to look at their jigging fellows and see you. There is no time for magic. Draw my sword. We're saving Corray. The creature marches for you. You try to gauge its size and deliver a skillful sweeping blow, aiming to injure the creature before it has found its footing. The goblin ducks to one side, hoping to nick you in the ribs with its little sword. The creature watches your movements fearfully. I thought it was going to be a defend, but thought I would go for it anyway. Oh, shit. We gotta refight it. We gotta refight it. We gotta refight! Shameful. Don't talk to me like that. Gotta be an all out there. That was awful. Yes, yes. No. Alright, I think we're good to go full blast here. He gained? Nameless, did we take a 1? I think we take a 1. Another goblin is charging forward, eager for your blood. I'm not going to read all the battle text, so I think we're going to have like a million fights here. Nice. More goblins are appearing on all sides. I'm fighting for Karay. What the fuck are you fighting for? Fuck me, dude. Full blasted. Yes! 3 is rough. They love a first move defend. Excuse me, Korea has not really been all that awful to me. My time has actually been kind of pleasant. Except for that time I got, you know, captured and imprisoned and almost killed. That was one time. Fuck me. Alright, we gotta full blast it. This is attack turn. Disgraceful, dude. Oh, I could have beaten him. You bitch! Nameless on the drums. They love their first... Earn defend. Nameless, of course it's when I bet on Believer. They love their first turn defense. Nice. They love their first turn to defend. Like, even if we don't look at the gambling hall, I've gained a legendary sword. My pack has become laden with loot in Corée. I've met some wonderful people. I met Flanker. Okay, no, I guess I met him before Corée, but I really got to know Flanker here. He was a good dude. Sure, he's an assassin, he kills people for an occupation, but you're telling me you're proud of everything you've done in your life? Flanker is still an assassin? Listen! You don't know what it's fucking like in Corée, Nameless. You've never fucking lived here. Fuck you! He chooses to be here. You don't know that! We're getting to flawless. They love their first turn defense. Alright. That's how you set up for the flawless. That's how you lose the flawless. It's fine, because he's gonna attack this turn. Oh! Find yourself held rigid. What the fuck, the crown? You look around. Okay, you pause for a breath, but there are more goblins coming. Then a voice rings out. Stop! There is a better way. You look around, but can see no one. But all around you, something is happening. It is as though the goblins have slowed down, their warmongering becoming an absurd, stately dance. The noise of the clearing dulls to a low rumble. I commanded you to stop, the voice cried, and suddenly you feel yourself held rigid. From the smoke of the torches above the gate, a figure emerges. Look at the figure. It is an old man with a long beard and deep, black, irised eyes. He paces through the churning goblin army to stand in the open. His legs disappear into a spectral trail. He is at least part wraith. Step forward, he commands, and you find yourself bidden. Approach the figure. The goblins seem to part around you, like smoke as you approach the figure. I have aligned 3 stars, the ghostly man declares. Vic rises tonight. The goblins show their hand tonight, but also you are here tonight. My name, the figure intones, is Loreg! I was once a scholar and a noble of this city. Later, I founded it. You founded it later? You reply confused. Who is this crazed shade? I saw Corée was falling. Sansa had lost his mind and sided with the goblins. The council was in ruins. My own life was threatened. I saw that Corée needed to be saved, so I went back to remake it in a way that could be saved, and here we are now. You have been here 2 days. I have been here hundreds of years, waiting for you to bring me the spell for the gate. The gate is already open. Don't you know the spell? Why do you need me? Find them yourself. Don't you know the spell? I created it, Laura replies, long ago. It has been passed down since then. Changed, lost to me, split into 4 lines. I knew it would happen since I was given one of those lines myself. So I prepared someone to find it again for me. For this night, I prepared you. Explain, what are the spell lines for? Explain, you reply. What are the spell lines for? I thought they unlocked the gate. The spell does not open the gate. His tone is heavy and dark, like tarred timber. The spell controls it, and there are deep magics burned into the wood itself. Magics that have poisoned this city and burnt fire into the eyeballs of those who live nearby. He stares at you with cold black eyes, expressing no emotion. Deep magics I placed there to be used by you, tonight. I am dead. You must act for me. How can I find the spells? How can I find this one? You tried to find them, but they are too well hidden. And the lines are known to 4 nobles. Orthita is blind and living in the ways. Okay, yeah, I know. I will go back. I will try to save your city. You tell him. Know this, Lorik replies. To go back will weaken you. A body is only made to hold on. What the fuck? I was sitting here when we were in the ziggurat. I was like, well, how the fuck? Like, would you actually how, like, when we were trying to get here, I was like, well, how the fuck would you actually get all 4 lines? Right? Because, like, you know, if you put, like, them on opposite ends of the city, well, then the game doesn't let me to, like, oh, I walk back. Sorcery is the gift that keeps on giving. Holy shit, dude. They built in a goddamn New Game Plus. If you will allow me, I will bend time itself to let me return to the city and find the spell for the gate. So, shall you take the adventure, or will you leave Corée to burn? Understand also, he adds darkly, I will curse you and the journey to follow if you do not assist me. You hesitate. Corée is a city of traps, but also of secrets, and there is still more that you might find. Can you afford to let the city port burn? Fucking continue the search, dude! I will help you, tell him. The wizard nods. I thank you. Ready myself. He raises his arm and begins the spell. The raging goblins stand like statues. You feel yourself lifting up from your body as though you have been snatched away by birdmen. As you lift into the air, you hear Laura cry out one last piece of advice. Find the lines and find the order of the lines. Corée dwindles beneath you and you feel your body growing weaker. Holy shit! Alright, so I get to keep all my shit though, right? Nameless! We should have burned the spell book! Maybe we could just maybe there's another spell book in Corée. Ain't no way. He doubts Corée. Alright, okay, where did he say these motherfuckers were? in the fallen quarter of the city. I didn't go there. Between the well and the docks in Lower Carray. Upper Carray. Lower Carray? Lower Carray? Lower Carray? Lower Carray? Well, damn, I guess I shouldn't have been watching Germa play at all. It's fine, honestly, just because I don't remember, like, shit. I don't remember most of the stuff that he did in this area of the game. I don't understand where Lower Carray is, though. Upper Carray? I can't let that audio play for too long because I'm pretty sure it's getting fucking like DMCA'd. Alright. Fallen Quarter. Between the well and the docks of Lower Carray. Between the well and the docks of Lower Carray. Okay, that has to be it. I think I see another well. Even though I'm pretty sure there was like one around here in Germa's playthrough, right? You think this is permanent? Or do you think I'll get it back once I reach here? Yeah, the compass is over here. That's what I was thinking. I think that maybe this whole area is Upper Carray, and then this whole area is Lower Carray. Right, and if we just assume, if we look and there's only one well, then this is the well and this is the dock, so somewhere between here and there. But I don't know, I also feel like that's a bit of extrapolation. But I mean, extrapolation wouldn't be too abnormal for sorcery. Sorcery, you know, asks you to do that sometimes. Alright. Where do we think I go? I know how I would answer that question. But I'm curious what other people think. Oh. The start is what I was thinking as well. Dude, I thought this was gonna be the last sorcery stream. It's only just begun. This will take you back in time to continue your search for the spell lines from outside Kore. Go! You are being wrenched in directions you did not know existed. The pain is unbearable, and just when you think you will go mad from it, the forces tear you apart. My magic will tear you apart. The struggle to grab onto your belongings in your very self as you tumble down from the clouds. And then you are awake, your eyes open once more. Your surroundings have changed. You are back on the pass outside Kore in the twilight. It is as though the last 2 days had not occurred, except that you now know the layout of the city and the whole matter of the spell lines. Walk on. You have not seen a living soul except once, when a dark figure raced across the hilltops overhead and then was lost from view. So you are naturally curious when you round a bend in the path and see a beggar crouched low against a rock muttering to himself. Alright, am I allowed to go? Okay, you can just rewind. You stop out of sight behind an outcrop, but the beggar does not look like much of a threat. Wait and watch. You watch in silence. The beggar is an unfortunate soul. His head twitches from one side to the other every few minutes, and he mutters to himself. They're hiding in the rocks. They're hiding in the rocks. Approach him. You call it greetings right over, and he leaps to his feet, drawing a short stick from inside his cloak. Who goes there? What's your business in Kore? Greetings, old man. Not for your greetings, Fergus. I asked you a question. Who are you and where are you headed? I am a traveler. The man pokes his stick. A traveler traveling where? Kore. Obviously, Kore, but why? You prods harder, answer me, or you'll face the consequences. What consequences? Better you don't find out. I am the city guard. No one enters Kore except through me, and then, despite his old age and clear how he comes at you, waving his stick. I won't fight you. I won't fight you. You are unarmed. He waves the stick close to your face, jabbing a few times, then he pushes the point aside with one hand. Alright then, Clarius will settle this fairly. He tosses his stick to one side and raises his fist. The knuckles are blackened with scabs. Fight him. Fuck! We'll take the one. Yeah, we'll take the one. You roll your sleeves back down. Alright, he murmurs into the ground and weakly waving a hand. You can pass. Help him up. I'm holding out a hand, you help him upright. He sits up and dusts down his tattered clothing, a gray cloak that was once a uniform. He is shivering. The evening is drawing in and it must get cold out here. You don't have any food, do you? Give him something to eat. You rummage in your pack and pull out a hunk of bread and cheese. Here, the man grabs it and eats gleefully like a wild dog. He murmurs and grumbles to himself as he does so. Come with me. You take pity on the man. Come with me. I'm going into Correa. The soldier considers your offer for a moment as he chews. You're sure I know the word for the wall, but they will not let me through the gate. Sounds like we can help each other. He clambers slowly to his feet. A gleam of hope has entered the poor man's eyes. Very well then, stranger. A trade. Follow the pass. The beggar walks a few strides ahead, but goes from a military pace in his step. What's your name? You ask. Captain Thomas of the 4th Legion, responsible for the 7th perimeter. He knocks his bony heels together. At your service. What are you doing out here, soldier? We were sent out to investigate sightings, he replies, still panting for breath. A whole legion of us back when the council felt bold. But then they locked the gate and wouldn't let us back. Where's your legion now? He won't answer, just shakes his head and points sharply downwards. The path winds through gorse and thick grass. Correa squats in a basin in the hills like a stagnant, festering pool. You turn one corner, then another, and the stone walls of the city are looming over you. The walls weren't built to keep anything out, they were built to keep people in. Correa's one gigantic trap itself. And you want to go back? Of course I do, it's my home. Climb the slope. You scramble up the slope for a better view of the wall, leaving Thomas below. It is formed by staggering man-sized stone blocks. Gallons and gallons of mud and loam dredged from the base of the river. It curves away in both directions, unbroken except for the gate. Then you see something at the top. The stops in your tracks. There's a guy post on battle, watching the clear. Ask the soldier's advice. You call down to the companion. What should we do? Don't worry. I know it's the watchword, don't I? He strides forward, confidently. You follow him into the clearing. The guard on the wall raises a hand and shields out in the sun. Who goes there? He follows friend or foe. You wait until Thomas goes back, friend. And the catchword is Cantopani. The guard pauses and then lowers his bow. Approach. Thomas turns and smiles at you. The south gate stands before you. It is as tall as 2 men and would be broad enough to ride 3 horses through if only it were open. But instead it is locked and there is no other way into the city. Luckily, of course, you have a key. Over to you, says Thomas, stepping back. Unlock the gate with the spin Steve's key. You click and the signature in your pack and spin it in the lock. Thomas click as the key turns. Good work. But do you think it's safe to go through? Let's wait. Hear nothing for a moment and the sound of shouting voices and feet rushing away. Well, let's wait, you say. Thomas nods and a few heartbeats pass, but you hear nothing from inside the yard. Then he shakes his head. I'm going for it. Thank you, stranger. And with that, he dashes away inside. You hear nothing for a moment, then the sound of shouting voices and feet rushing away. Go in after. Slipping inside, you find the yard deserted. The old soldier has cleared it out for you. You push the great gate closed, key still. Why, in God's name, would you not take the key back? I'm keeping the goddamn key! Big! Ha! Stop. You cast the spell on the lock of the gate. The gigantic tumblers squeal as they turn and reaching forward to touch the massive door you find. Sure enough, it is now unlocked. Thomas hangs back. Good work, but do you think it's safe to go through? Let's wait. Going after. You push just inside the shadow of the gate. To your left is a low stone building with metal bars for windows. Duck behind the building, hurry out of the yard, try the door to the low building. You know what? This is what we'll call. It is also nice that they show you your previous path still. What a fucking game, dude.